Good afternoon. This is Sarah Honeydew for Janus Biblical Productions. In the search for the parable, The Rich Man and Lazarus, it led us here to Sherwood Forest in the 14th century in the Nottingham Shire of England. The parable tells us of a rich man who cared for no one, especially the beggar at his doorstep, who died as well as the beggar. The rich man went to hell and the beggar went to heaven. But why? Maybe we can ask this man. Sir, I'm with Janus Biblical Productions. Can you tell me why a rich man would go to hell and a poor man would go to heaven?
Why, I'd be happy to tell you. I'm Robin Hood. The richest man is the Sheriff of Nottingham. He lives over yonder, in that place. He despised everyone, and he only cared for himself. He cared nothing for any of the serfs in his shire.
So, did you do something about it?
Oh, certainly. I took this bow and I put an arrow right through his heart. He was selfish and self-centered, and he cared for only money and worldly possessions. No one cared for him. He won't be missed.
I see. So, what if he were to come and say that he was sorry?
There is no excuse for that. Inhumanity is an unexcusable and damning sin. Read the parable.
Well, that's a pretty strong statement. So what is your part in this, and who is that man?
My role is to rob from the rich and to give to the poor. I'm a rebel. I live on the outskirts of society here in Sherwood Forest with my band of merry men. You know my men. Will Scarlet, Little John, Sir Alanadale, and Friar Tuck. And I stand as a symbol of justice against oppression. I'm also a very loyal follower of King Richard the Lionhart.
Well, that's really impressive. But who is that man?
Oh, this man? Why?
Yes.
Why, he is Lazarus. He is a symbol of the opportunity for humanity. He died and needs to be put to rest. So we're going to bury him so that he can be back with Father Abraham, Jesus, and God.
And what about Sheriff of Nottingham? Where does he go?
Where does he go? Why, he goes to the Devil's Cemetery. And I will then go off and marry Maid Marian with the king's permission. Yes, she is a ward of the king. And, yes, that's where he'll go. And I'm going to marry her because I have a heart of gold and love for Maid Marian.
Robin Hood, I don't know if you're real or a legend. You're too good to be true. Thank you for explaining that point, and that inhumanity to man is an inexcusable sin. This is...
Robin!
Oh!
King Richard said we can be married.
Wait, before you go off, can you tell me what really happened to the Sheriff of Nottingham? What's the whole story?
The sheriff held me prisoner in his tower in Nottinghamshire. And he kept me prisoner because my father couldn't afford the taxes. And he beheaded my father and then kept me hostage.
Good grief, but you can't pay for your father's debts.
No. The sheriff held me prisoner and was going to marry me off to one of his cronies, the Duke of Camelot. But he had to get rid of the first wife, who was an invalid. And then Robin, he challenged the Duke to a duel and ran him through like a shish kebab.
Jeez, that sounds as bad as it can get, right?
No. The sheriff held me prisoner, and I laid on straw and was beaten and abused by his soldiers. And then Robin came and saved me and took me to Scotland, to Edinburgh, to a convent where the nuns, they took care of me. And then King Richard gave me this and said that Robin and I could be married.
I've never heard quite a story like that before. Now I understand why God could never forgive such a unrepentant man as the Sheriff of Nottingham. May you two enjoy your honeymoon wherever it takes you. And I hope that you guys can live happily ever after. This is Sarah Honeydew for Janus Biblical Productions saying God bless.